Deep in the heart of KwaZulu-Natal, where the mountains kiss the sky and ancient spirits sleep beneath the soil, there existed a kingdom once known for its peace, its unity, and its noble king. But harmony is fragile, and even the strongest kingdoms can be shattered by a single heart filled with envy. Today, we tell the story of Lindokuhl, the maiden who became queen. And then became something far darker. A story whispered across villages, carried by the wind. The legend of the envy witch of KwaZulu. Long before she wore the royal beads, Lindokuhl was a simple Zulu maiden, living in a quiet village near the Ukalamba Mountains. She was beautiful, so beautiful that even elders lowered their eyes around her. But her beauty was not soft. It was sharp, cold, calculated. When King Zwelithini visited the village for the harvest celebrations, he saw her for the first time. And in that moment, the humble king, kind-hearted, gentle, and trusting, believed the heavens had blessed him. To him, she was perfect. But while the king felt love, Lindokuhl felt opportunity. Her smile captured him. Her charm disarmed him. And her ambition followed him back to the palace. When she entered the palace as queen, the kingdom cheered, unaware of the storm they had welcomed inside their walls. At first, she played the role of perfection, soft-spoken, respectful, devoted. But slowly, piece by piece, the mask slipped, revealing the eyes of a woman who believed the crown belonged to her alone. She began changing everything. The king's trusted advisors were pushed aside. New ones, fearful, loyal only to her, took their place. Every decision, every message, every whisper to the king passed through her first. KwaZulu still had a king. But the queen was the one ruling. In time, the kingdom waited for an heir. But the queen had a secret buried deep within her heart. She despised children. Their innocence irritated her. Their joy nauseated her. Their future threatened her. So she visited a sangoma hidden deep within the forest, an old woman many feared to even speak about. Under the dim light of a dying fire, the sangoma gave the queen a mixture, dark herbs bound with whispers of forbidden magic. From that night on, no pregnancy survived. Not one. The king blamed fate. But the kingdom blamed her. For while KwaZulu longed for a future, the queen longed only for control. King Zwelithini was loved for his humility. But humility can be a weakness in the hands of someone ruthless. The queen used his kindness like a weapon. When she needed pity, she cried. When she needed distraction, she smiled sweetly. When she needed control, she lied. Soon, the king stopped visiting villages. Stopped leading councils. Stopped hearing the cries of his people. The queen told him he was tired. And he believed her. Every door to the king was closed except through her. Every truth he heard was filtered by her. Every decision he made was guided by her shadow. KwaZulu had a humble king. But a greedy queen. With the king hidden away, KwaZulu began to rot. Taxes grew higher. Food became scarce. Warriors turned cruel. Families lived in fear. Anyone who questioned the queen's decisions disappeared, silenced by the very guards sworn to protect the people. Rumors spread like fire. She is no longer queen. She speaks to spirits in the forest. She is building her own kingdom, one ruled by fear. But the queen didn't care what they whispered. Because with every life she controlled, every voice she silenced, every child whose future she crushed, her power grew stronger. Even her beauty changed, becoming something colder, harder, unnatural. A beauty molded by darkness. The queen's heart grew darker with each season. Her envy no longer had limits. She envied maiden girls admired by the elders. She envied strong young boys destined to become leaders. She envied mothers with children. She even envied the king himself, because the people loved him. So she turned her envy into destruction. Promising girl admired by the kingdom. She whispered lies until her family lost their honor. A boy showing leadership. He mysteriously fell ill. A respected elder. Suddenly accused of witchcraft. She used fear like a spear. She used envy like poison. She used her crown like a weapon. KwaZulu no longer stood under the sun, but under her shadow. One night, after years of living blind to her cruelty, the king awoke to faint voices outside his chamber. Curious, he moved closer, and the words froze his blood. The queen, speaking with the sangoma. Her voice was cold, sharp, merciless. She confessed how she controlled the kingdom. How she ensured no child would threaten her reign. How she replaced the king's advisors with her own servants. How she planned to remove anyone who stood in her way. The king felt his heart shatter. The woman he loved did not love him. She loved his throne. He realized the horrifying truth. He was king only in name. She was king in power. And she would never let him stop her. The next morning, the king attempted to confront her. But no one ever saw him leave his chamber again. Some believe he died of a broken heart. Others believe he was poisoned. Some whisper he was cursed by the sangoma herself. But only one truth echoed through the palace. With the king gone, nothing stood between the queen and total domination. She walked through the palace with a smile. The same sweet smile she wore as a maiden. As if nothing had happened. But behind that smile was triumph. KwaZulu now belonged to her. With no one to challenge her, the queen expanded her rule. She controlled marriages.
I control who
She
should
controlled
marry
land.
who.
She controlled elders, warriors, and councils. Children disappeared. Families fled. Villages bowed in fear. She visited the forest more often, seeking stronger, darker charms from the sangoma. Some nights, villagers could hear her chanting with the spirits, calling on forces older than the kingdom itself. Her eyes grew colder. Her voice sharper. Her presence heavier. She was no longer a queen. She had become the envy witch of KwaZulu. Years passed. The kingdom changed forms. But her legend never died. Some say she still wanders the night forests of KwaZulu-Natal, dressed in the royal beads she once wore, whispering to spirits, watching over what she believes still belongs to her. Some say her beauty still lingers. But only for those foolish enough to look too closely. Others say her envy cursed the land itself. And that as long as jealousy exists, her shadow will never truly disappear. This is the story of the maiden who smiled too sweetly. The queen who ruled too cruelly. And the witch who envied too deeply. The story of Lindoku. The envy witch of KwaZulu. Beware the smile that hides ambition. Beware the heart poisoned by envy. And above all, beware the queen who desires power more than love. Because kingdoms fall not from battles, but from the darkness of a single heart.